Ladies and gentlemen, the lost SCP. SCP-000? What? SCP-001's arguing over who is the real one. SCP-000, there is another. Dude, I saw this just on the timeline and I had to know more. So here it is. Here's the blind reaction to SCP-000. I don't even know what to start with, what to think about this one. But, all right. This is probably going to be a little dark, probably world-destroying, but I doubt it's going to be anything that I can't handle. All right, I've already looked into all the SCP-001s. No, this is going to be crazy.
The Foundation might just be the most exciting job a person can ask for.
No, I would hate to work in the SCP Foundation. Bro, all these guys die. These guys all get cooked.
By exciting, we mean that if you work as an SCP field operative, researcher, or mobile task force member,
you are probably going to die. Did you see the Shy Guy's face? You're cooked.
You're much more likely to die a horrific death on the job than, say, a plumber.
Yeah, plumber. Plumbing is based. All you do is see some shit.
But at least you get the honor of proudly saying that you're the first line of defense between the normal world and the terrifying domain.
Not worth it. Oh, good. You get to say it. All right.
Of the anomalous. Well, unless you're one of the IT guys. Then your work life is likely as tedious and uneventful as the computer tech guy working on the Geek Squad.
First of all, that's not true because you get to see all this really cool shit. But also, second of all, you look at the Shy Guy and you're dead, okay? You see 4 pixels of the Shy Guy and man kills you, all right? Literally butt fucks you to next week. No, sir. No, sir. I've seen enough IT guys get cooked in the SCP Foundation. No thanks. If there is some when day breaks apocalypse, I want to be the first guy to die. Okay? I want to be the first dude to get cooked. I do not want to live through that.
But nothing is ever normal when it comes to the SCP Foundation.
All right, but what's the 000? All right, even if it is some world-destroying shit, there's no way it's actually going to get me creeped out, right?
Where even the person whose job is helping other staff members reset their email passwords may run into the supernatural. Welcome to the strange and frightening world of pattern screamers.
Pattern screamers? This is SCP-000? Some larger-than-life crazy-ass shit? Pattern screamers?
And specifically, SCP-000.
What does this even mean? Okay, alright, I'm ready.
SCP-000 was first discovered completely on accident by technical researcher David Rosen, a man intrinsically connected to the
I don't know, sounds Jewish.
pattern screamers lurking on the SCP Foundation computer database.
He found the SCP on the computer? Huh?
Technical researcher Rosen is actually somewhat of a celebrity around the Foundation's staff, due to the fact that he's so perfectly mediocre at what he does.
He's a celebrity for being especially mediocre. No! Oh god, that's horrible. How could you say that? It's like, oh, you're my favorite YouTuber because you're perfectly average.
His job as the glorified IT guy at the SCP Foundation was previously held by the more qualified researcher Patrick Gephardt, but Rosen was called in to replace him after Gephardt mysteriously disappeared while on the job. Since
You never want to replace someone that mysteriously disappears on the job. First of all, I don't know what the hell this has to do with SCP-000. When I see all the SCP-001 shit, I'm thinking of interdimensional Satan. I'm thinking of the Black Moon. I'm thinking of an apocalypse where everyone turns into sludge. Like, there's some crazy meta-defining shit out there, okay? SCP-000 is not going to be an IT guy looking at patterns on a computer.
It's 2012. Rosen has been Site-19's user-level tech support wizard, but the best thing that can really be said about his job competency is that he's got a 100% attendance record. He's seen
Dude, this is pathetic. David Rosen sucks. No! He's special. He never comes late. He always comes quickly. He's long and hard. He jacks off to vanilla porn. Dude, how basic is this guy? He likes when the porn is two adults consenting and not doing any butt stuff. Like, what am I looking at right now?
Seems to live out of his office, which is described as the
He lives out of his office! Oh my god. Bro's just Asmongold.
filthiest at the whole Foundation. Every inch of the floor is covered in old, broken computer parts. and the air is stale with dust and the twin odors of sweat and lithium grease. It's a place so inhospitable that the Foundation has seriously considered bottling the stench as a kind of chemical deterrent.
Oh my god, he's literally has been called. He's literally has been called. Dude, please tell me there's gonna be a twist. SCP-000 is just the really smelly guy that's sitting in the office.
While Technical Director Rosen isn't good at his job per se, he isn't technically bad enough at it to justify the time and resources it would take to replace him.
Bro is just impressively average. I can't believe what's even going on here. I only have sex in a missionary position. Like, what is even going on?
But the worst part about Rosen isn't his performance.
Get it? Get it?
It's his truly rotten attitude. He's universally described by his colleagues as being rude, grumpy, and combative, with patience that's far too short for someone working in tech support. And
his penis is average. His personality is lame. He's sneako, but less of a cuck.
while Rosen does have a real fear that the ghost of researcher Gebhardt is stalking him, he was about to have his first actual brush with the supernatural. It all started when he
How does he work in the SCP Foundation for years and only now begin to just see the fucking supernatural?
began receiving automated repair tickets for SCP-000, a file that had no reason to exist.
Wait, SCP-000 is a computer file? Okay.
As any longtime follower of the SCP Foundation will know, the universal designation for the first cluster of SCPs to be discovered is SCP-001.
Yeah. Even I knew that, okay? I've only done a couple dozen SCPs, and I knew that.
There is no SCP-000. It simply doesn't exist.
Yeah, so why is there a file about it?
And when Rosen first found the file lurking on the database, he found that it was filled with worthless nonsense. The object class was recorded as null. The special containment procedures read, error, field, containment underscore...
This is the Vosh file. It's his SCP-000. It's just horse porn. Everyone loses their shit when they...
procedures does not exist, and the mess of a description simply read, internal system error, field undefined. Please contact system administrator over and over again, becoming more mangled and nonsensical each time. Technical Director Rosen, who could never resist an opportunity to complain, decided to leave an angry administrator's note on the useless file. He claimed that this pile...
Bro, dude, this Rosen guy is the biggest loser I've ever seen in my life. They characterized him as an obsessively normal man that's also annoying. Oh my god, this is like pathetic.
Junk Data was sending out pointless repair tickets because of its broken syntax, clogging up the system and preventing him from doing actual work on meaningful files.
He can't do work on meaningful files because there's this weird folder. There's a folder that's just a prank, bro, and he can't do his work because there's this one... Bro is so OCD that he's literally putting his whole job at risk because of one file that means nothing.
He assumed that
I am happy finally being represented in media. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been so long, but I, as someone that also has ADHD and is annoying online, I feel like I am finally properly represented. Ladies and gentlemen, I am finally appreciated. Let's go. Damn. This is how Evanito felt when they released the Black Panther. Like, this is just me, finally.
that this was all down to the database not knowing how to react to having files logged with insufficient information, and he suppressed all future repair tickets from SCP-000 before declaring the matter over and done with.
He just deleted SCP-000. Mysterious folder, and he's like, whatever, fuck it, and he deletes it. Paste.
What the pig-headed technical director didn't realize was that he was suppressing a call for help from an entity trapped in the white space below the article itself.
What? How on earth was he supposed to find this?
It was a
The cage is vast, it has no walls. While I stand still, all the sea is plain white, stretching across an equally blank sky. There is no life in this place as I move for as long as I get this spot. Instead of getting me for a moment, I snap back to this spot. Forever damned to be tethered to this prison. Despite this, I have wandered far, exploring the purgatory. I have no forgotten years. In my travel to this wasteland, I pure white, I see flashes of images, horrible things that simply should not be, grotesque abominations.
A pure white world.
That appears for a moment in a temple and it disappears. They never been in there at all. My memories of all these creatures continue to lead me back to what memory specifically a back shape is being. A formless
Of
thing.
absolute nothingness. An entity
That could not have been created.
with no name and no place.
Damn, I was the TikTok logo that's blurred. No, I have no mouth and I must scream. Yeah, people told me that I had to watch the Wendigoon video on that.
But it was somehow capable of thought. Its panicked inner monologue is readable in the hidden text.
My memories of the future can be a black shapeless being, a formless thing that is supposed to be created by God and other reality, appeared in front of me as I walked, as stared with dead crimson eyes. As I drew closer to it, my mind, I could feel its hate, its rage, its fear, emotions. All right.
Which takes the form of a rambling stream of consciousness. The being first described coming to life in this empty world with no memories of where it was or even how it got there. It spent what could have been years exploring the empty wasteland.
Wait, so are you telling me that the SCP-000 is a consciousness trapped in an empty void? That is the most torturously fucked up shit I've ever seen.
Occasionally, it would see horrific monsters pop up around it.
Just random SCPs that are put in the fucking computer.
But only for a split second. The entity continued to wander, and little by little, the existential dread mounted as it realized...
This is just the embodiment of Twitter. It's like if Twitter somehow gained consciousness just to see all the deranged shit that gets posted and said there, that's just SCP-000.
that it may truly be stuck here in oblivion forever.
It's just a consciousness existing in an oblivion, just seeing torment and horror. I don't know how this is SCP-000, but that is fucked up.
The entity only had one word to go on, a word repeated by some of the monsters it encountered. Foundation. The entity
Ooh, okay. Jester, thanks for the sub.
had no idea what this foundation even was, but it grew to hate and fear it. Was this foundation the one that trapped it here? The entity had all the time in the world to speculate on it. Eventually, the entity found its voice. Like any sentient creature in trouble, it began to call for help, eventually screaming, just hoping someone would notice it.
This is tragic. I'm starting to feel bad for this little blob. And then the dude just decides to become the homunculus from Furumeter Alchemist and eat a city. Yikes. An existence bred and evolved through torture.
These pleas likely translated into the frequent IT repair tickets, a coded SOS, an attempt to show that everything was not as it appeared on the SCP-000 file. Perhaps the entity may have found help if researcher Gebhardt was still working at the Foundation, but instead its cries fell on the ignorant ears of technical director Rosen.
Bro, imagine being a being trapped in an endless void for eternity. Just stuck there, barely existing, purely tortured, in a state of complete and utter horror. And the first person that hears you is this guy. Someone that existed for an eternity trapped in a hellscape. Finally his voice heard, and it's heard by David Rosen. That's the saddest thing in the universe. Unbelievable. I still don't know how this thing became SCP-000, but what the fuck? I can't believe it. I don't know what this came from. Maybe it's called SCP-000 because it's a consciousness that was molded by the SCP Foundation. Unlike SCP-001, which in most proposals of SCP-001, it either created the universe or it's the end of the universe or something like that. SCP-000 might be the first entity created by a hatred of the Foundation because of its existence in a bleak oblivion for eternity. I mean, that's obviously fucked up, but it also makes sense why it would get the status of 000. But dude, it's also a tragic concept. Imagine thinking of something calling for help on deaf ears, living in an eternity. Like, that's kind of sad.
It may as well have been speaking to a brick wall. Rosen, who had all the investigative zeal of Paul Blart Mall Cop, made sure that these cries would never lead to the entity's freedom when he suppressed the repair tickets.
Oh my god, this guy, this Rosen. This Rosen! It doesn't explain why the previous IT guy disappeared, but god!
He had trapped the entity in a private blank hell, forever hating.
Oh my god, this is crazy. He was just like, nope, this is annoying. To the Shadow Realm with you. Enjoy your room of nothingness.
A life it didn't choose and could never escape. A relentless, existential nightmare. This is the gist of your average pattern screamer.
What the hell's a pattern screamer? I'm so confused. Like, dude, that is evil, first of all. I don't even think it comes from malice, right? It comes from,
Pattern screamers are a perfect example of literally making something out of nothing. They are often a kind of floating consciousness, created from nothing, trapped in pockets of nothingness between the fabric of reality, driven mad by the purgatory-like nature of their existence.
That is so sad. This is like Boogie 2988 if it didn't have Wi-Fi.
They're less living entities and more conceptual constructs, pure ideas, that just happen to be self-aware of their own existence.
Self-aware consciousness is living in complete torment. That's tragic. Oh my god. And it's called SCP-000 because there's no human consciousness that can actually fathom it. That's why it's not classified properly.
In their private hellish voids.
Dude, this is so sad. These poor guys.
The SCP-00 file, a file for an anomaly that doesn't exist, and thus had no reason to exist, is a perfect breeding ground for a pattern screamer. But
okay, so it's not like the SCP Foundation created this pattern screamer. It's the idea that a pattern screamer found home in a file that shouldn't exist. Because SCP-000 doesn't exist, because the Foundation starts its counting at 1, SCP-000 is just a perfect home for something that shouldn't exist in reality. Alright, that's really, really interesting. This is such a cool concept in SCP lore. I feel like this is a really important idea too, because they existed before time. They still exist now. And anything that's paradoxical and anything that shouldn't exist, you probably have some sort of pattern screamer just sitting there.
sadly for the pattern screamer in question, Technical Director Rosen had no idea. This isn't the only time that Rosen had run into a pattern screamer without even knowing either. And just like the first case, he was with no help whatsoever. This one began with SCP-S, an otherwise empty file containing only this image. Director Winters, a Foundation administrator, wondered why this file even existed. Enter Technical Director Rosen.
Oh, Rosen. Rosen, my goat, Rosen.
Filled with equal parts sarcasm and insubordination.
Bro, this man is just Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing.
He gave a condescending reply to Director Winters, saying that the file was there to test the filing system, and the image was likely just a placeholder.
You are joking. You are kidding me. They found an eldritch god, and they came so close to unleashing him, because once your consciousness understands it exists now. So they found this eldritch god, they almost released it, and because this guy was a petty piece of shit, he's like, haha, testing you. 70 IQ move, literally destroyed Cthulhu.
Winters never should have been on the page anyway, according to Rosen. Director Winters was annoyed at Rosen's typically rude tone, and asked him to make the purpose of the article clearer in the article itself. In response, Rosen did as he was told, filling the article in the most sarcastic manner possible.
Oh my god, this man is actually a godslayer. Holy shit. IT manager David Rosen would absolutely fuck Goku.
The whole thing was essentially a middle finger to Director Winters.
Dude, Lovecraft could not create an entity that would scare David Rosen.
For having the audacity to even ask. Rosen signed off with, "There, finished. I certainly hope I have been clear enough to anyone who may have accidentally accessed this page. Through what I am
Dude, this world-destroying SCP is getting single-handedly bodied by Rosen. Bro, Rosen is fondling this eldritch god.
sure is no fault of their own. so we won't have any more incredibly competent directors bugging the tech team about this page.
Damn.
And once again, technical researcher Rosen was too busy being a rude, unpleasant jerk to notice he was practically staring another pattern screamer in the face.
Oh my god, this is crazy. Bro's the GOAT. Dude. Oh my god, holy shit.
This pattern screamer, or rather hive of pattern screamers, were trapped even deeper than the one in SCP-000. This one was hidden in the very source code of SCP-S, where a chorus of enraged voices screamed the following: "Pretend, monster, just for a minute. Pretend you were the size of an amoeba, dwarfed by even the smallest of bugs. Pretend you didn't hold the world in a glass cage.
Okay.
Pretend you were the one being held by something greater than yourself. Would you
I'm pretending.
still be laughing at your triumphs?
Yes.
Would you
I'm a petty motherfucker.
still feel pride in what you were, even as pitifully small as you would be? Of course you would, because you are arrogant
Yeah, baby, I am.
and stupid.
Yeah, and I'm loving it.
If you haven't guessed yet, we hate you.
Hold this L, Eldritch God. David Rosen out here curb stomps yo ass.
This pattern screamer is clearly more aware of its pitiful station in existence than the 000 pattern screamer.
So these pattern screamers are fascinating. It's such a fascinating concept, and obviously they can never be defined by the SCP Foundation, because the moment they have a definition, they exist in the current pattern of reality. So they are always only existing on the fringes in some sort of purgatory. Just an endless torture until they show up and destroy reality. And the GOAT, David Rosen out here, is fucking cooking them.
And as a result, it's not so much depressed as it is furious. Though at this
I get it. I get it. It's based. Anger is so much better than depression.
point, you've probably figured out that even the entities who have the most casual of brushes with technical researcher Rosen end up getting infuriated. But while you may have gotten the impression that all pattern screamers are sad little entities worthy of our sympathy and—
No. These guys they're gonna fucking annihilate the reality and fabric of space-time if they actually exist in our corporeal dimension. For those of you that are unaware, corporeal dimension means physical world. I'm translating this to you because I said that to Keemstar and he said, "Did you just make up those words?" Still one of the greatest moments on our podcast history. But anyway, cook these frauds. Cook these guys. Get them out of here.
Pity. There's at least one pattern screamer that's actually incredibly dangerous.
SCP-3930?
This is SCP-3930, the ultimate pattern screamer.
Okay, I didn't realize that they actually had one classified.
In terms of both size and effect. It's an anomaly so strange it defies typical containment classification, and it bears a level 5 security lock, meaning only those on the level of the legendary O5 Council are cleared to even know about it.
Oh, fuck. That's even scarier than the reptile and all that shit. Dude, that's higher than, like, the Shy Guy and all these other ones that I've been covering.
Its greatest containment procedure is the preservation of the very idea that SCP-3930 does not exist.
It's super important to have in mind. Dude, why is the O5 Council always wearing blackface? But, dude, that's super important to realize, because the more people that recognize its existence, the more people bring it into reality.
Because the alternative has terrifying implications for all involved. SCP-3930 is a 1-kilometer area in Russia that is filled with non-existence.
Of course it's in Russia, but filled with non-existence?
To even call it a white void would be inaccurate, because it implies the existence of the color white and the existence of the concept of a void. Nothing exists within SCP-3930, and anyone who directly observes 3930 runs the risk of actively increasing its power.
Right? That's exactly. It's very, very. I didn't want to mention this specifically because I feel like it's getting too deep, but I do feel like it's going down that route. Are you familiar with Heisenberg's uncertainty principle? It's a quantum physics idea that if it's only an observing mind that brings things into reality. Like Schrodinger's cat theory is that Schrodinger has a cat. His cat is in a room. There are two buttons. If it pushes one button, it lives. If it pushes the other button, it dies. It pushes one of the buttons, and you don't know which button it pushed. Is it alive or dead? So according to Schrodinger, the cat is in a state of flux. It is both alive and dead until you have an observing eye look at it, and it collapses the wave function of reality, bringing the cat's current state into existence. Okay? So the act of observation collapses the wave function of reality. Did the tree fall if the tree falls in the forest, and nobody hears it, does it make a sound? Well, since no conscious mind observed this sound or heard this sound, the sound technically it does not exist. It's in a void. So it really seems like these SCP-000 ideas, like these pattern screamers, they all very, very much seem like observing them or knowing about them collapses their wave function and brings it into reality. The less people that know about it, the less it exists. So they have to contain the knowledge of this much more than they have to physically contain its dangerous outcomes. If everyone recognizes it as something that exists, it can consume all reality. And that makes it both completely powerless when no one knows about it, but simultaneously makes it one of the most dangerous SCPs we've ever covered. Cool shit, honestly. I like this one.
That's why special containment procedures dictate that anyone who observes 39...
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what they call a commentary video that actually is transformative content. Let me just say it. For the people in the back, this is transformative content.
30 must be forced to walk into it afterwards, which results...
What? Anyone that observes it needs to walk into it? Anyone that knows about this, they just immediately eliminate so they don't spread the knowledge of this SCP like a contagion? Damn.
And them ceasing to exist. They're destroyed on the deepest level that anything can be destroyed.
Yeah, they are literally removed from reality. Sheesh. Like the demons in 40K, you don't want their ideology to exist, so they kill everyone that perceives them.
The very idea of them ceases to be.
God damn.
Another reason that SCP-3930 is so special is that because it's the largest area of nothing in existence interacting directly with our reality, it's the only place that a huge number of pattern screamers can be directly observed by humans. They're described as being like sentient hallucinations. One researcher suggests that these pattern screamers are created by the way the psyche shatters when brought into contact with raw, true nothingness.
Whatever that means.
Nothingness acts like a hateful mirror to our worst thoughts, reflecting them back at us in the forms of restless screamers. Regardless of...
Yeah, the definition of cognitohazard. It's the idea that just the knowledge of it is dangerous. It's really cool. I like this one a lot. This is one of my... I don't want to say one of my favorite SCPs, but a really good one.
What they actually are. One thing is for sure. Coming into direct contact with one of these screamers is a harrowing experience.
True.
In the end, it just goes to show that pattern...
It's your intrusive thoughts taken life. It's the embodiment of Twitter, brought into existence.
Screamers are a complex entity. They can range from microscopic to massive, from pitiful to downright terrifying. And the sad result is that, in either case, nothing can really be done to stop them.
Yeah, it is impossible to defeat them, right? The more you actually know about them, the more dangerous they get. Yeah, they will never be defeated. They can only be, I guess, contained, which is the job of the SCP. The SCP Foundation is to contain them. So it does make sense. And in this case, you contain them by containing the knowledge of their existence. Cool shit. Honestly, just really cool shit.
It's just as impossible to stop the nothingness existing in SCP-3930 as it is to save the entity trapped in the white spaces of SCP-000. Maybe the best option is to actually be more like Technical Director Rosen.
I'm glad that this is the moral of the story. The idiots of the world, they ain't observing shit. They ain't collapsing no wave functions. They ain't bringing any creepy entities into existence. Be like David Rosen, the GOAT.
Keep your head down, focus instead.
Just be annoying. Embrace the pettiness of your life. Smile at the toxic assholes out there.
On your own.
Own the libtards. Okay, all right, we're getting too far.
Petty worries. And bask in the warm bliss that can only come with having no idea what you're dealing with.
Ignorance is bliss, baby. That's just it, baby. Bask in the bliss.
The one downside is that this may make you a pretty lousy IT guy. Now check out SCP-5000.
That was good shit. That was good shit. I like that one. Yeah, a lot of people have been telling me I needed to do SCP-5000. 10,000 likes and we'll do that. Thank you so much for being here. I enjoyed this one a lot. We jumping into SCP again, baby. It's happening. It's happening. God, there's so much lore to cover. God, so much lore. Stay weird, fam. If you made it to the end, click one of these 2 videos, which also will definitely get me canceled. See you live on Kick. Stay weird, fam.